Good morning. Coming to you from my home this morning on this Saturday, March 28th. I wanted to talk to you this morning about a way of praying that is very creative and that I hope helps you in your prayer times, especially during this steep time when creativity is something that we all need every day to stay positive and still continue to do what we need to do without going nuts. So, I wanted to tell you about the exercises of St. Ignatius. And if you're coming to this from the email, you will see my written explanation about who Ignatius was, St. Ignatius of Loyola, who was a 16th century saint and a holy man who had a conversion experience and then wrote what are now called the spiritual exercises of St. Ignatius, a way of praying that is very creative. And I went through these exercises a few years back, and I wanted to share them with you because I find them very helpful. So what we're going to use for our text today is the text for tomorrow, Sunday's worship, which is from the book of John, and it's the story of the raising of Lazarus. So what I would like you to do is read this text over. You might need to read it a couple times. And then what you're going to do is use your five senses to explore the passage a little deeper. So first of all, after you read the text, you think, okay, how can I put myself in the story? And you decide that you're going to be a particular character in the story, or maybe you're going to be Jesus, or maybe you're going to be an observer or a fly on the wall, whoever you feel called to do. And you're going to use that place of being a character in the story to use your five senses in prayer. So the first thing you might look is what do I see? You read the passage. What do I see as this character? Say I'm Mary. What am I seeing on this day when we are mourning the death of Lazarus and Jesus shows up 3 days too late? What do I see? The next thing would be perhaps what do I hear? If I am Martha or Mary or Jesus or one of the mourners, what am I hearing? Not just what people are saying, that's important too, but also what do you hear in your imagination in the background? Put yourself into that scene and see what you might hear. For example, mourners in the time of Jesus were very loud, and wailing was part of the mourning ritual. So what are you hearing? What are they saying? You use your imagination. The third thing is smell. What do you smell? Can you smell anybody cooking? Can you smell people that are coming? Do they smell good? Do they smell bad? And how, are you smelling something that might make a difference in how you see this, how you experience this passage? Can you smell anything from the tomb? I don't know if that was possible with a big stone in place, but maybe you do. And then continuing with that use of your imagination, what do you taste? And one of the things that I discovered when I was doing this is, all these dusty roads. If you've never been in a desert place, you may not have experienced this before, but the dust is so strong that sometimes you get dust in your mouth and you taste the dust. Are you eating something delicious from meals that are being made on this day of mourning? Do you taste anything else? Do you taste a bitterness in your mouth because of what's happening, or a sweetness of what happens with Jesus? And then the final one, I think it's what we've done. We've done what we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we taste, and the fifth one is what we touch, what we feel. What do you feel? What does that sense of touch tell you right now? Are you feeling a hug from somebody, or are you finding something in that passage that is this tactile? And how does that affect the way you read it? It might take you might need to read through the passage more than one time, several times, in order to do these exercises, and they don't have to take long. I mean, there have been times when I've taken a very long time with each one, and other times when the answers to these questions, what do I see, feel, hear, touch, smell, come very quickly. So take the time that you can and see where God leads you in doing this kind of meditation. I would be very curious to hear how this went for you, and what you thought of this form of meditation. And we'll be talking about St. Ignatius for a few weeks, and I'll be telling you about some of the other ways of praying that he taught. God bless you, and have a blessed Saturday. Amen.